Good morning, everybody. Um, this morning I'm just here to make a video. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing because I don't really know what I'm doing. So if I just kind of, well, I'm making a journal cover, not a journal cover, a needlebook cover. This is this is going to be a needlebook cover, a cover to a needlebook, or a sewing scrap, sew stitching supply book, something like that. It's going to be, and um, and so I'm starting with a piece of 8 inch by 12-inch piece of felt. And what I do with that is I just cover it up. I just cover it up with um, odds and ends of fabric scraps. Nothing. I don't really go in for making everything all match and that kind of thing. But I kind of just put things on where they fall. Let things live where they fall, and and uh, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. So the covers kind of just end up however they just end up. Let me just show you one here. This one here is all um, just quilty kind of scraps put on the piece of felt and stitched on, and then I put the felt pages inside with pockets, and some have pockets and some have a flap there, and this one here, I think I need to tack right here. I want to leave this part of the lace not sewed on so that clips can go on it, and more like a belly band. And but they're all different. All of them that I make will be different, and I'm going to be working on a slow. This what I'm going to have to offer is um, is a kit, the little the needle book, and it'll also have fabrics and things that will go along with it for a slow stitching. Oh, this is something else I was working on. Okay, so I'm looking for just some. Oh, this is pretty. Oh wow, this is long. And so I'm just going to put this whole thing together, just overlapping some scraps, I think. I never really know exactly. This would be pretty to use this as a tie. Yeah, I'm going to have that as the tie because it's long enough. So that's going to be a tie on there. And to tie the book together. Oh, look at that. This is pretty. That's a pretty piece of fabric right there. Boy, if you don't look through your fabric for a while and then all of a sudden you look through it one day, then and you remember what you once had, and you find such pretty things. And so that kind of reminds you to not, use up what you have. I know it's very tempting to go to the fabric store and buy new pieces of fabric all the time. And but sometimes you just get very inspired by pieces that you already have, just little scraps. And oh Lord, maybe I need to do this later. I just remembered I've got some clothes in the dryer. I gotta go get them out. And let me see. I'm just gonna put a few pieces here. Just put some pieces. I tore that a little short there. That doesn't matter though, because I'm gonna put an edging on it. And let's see, what I want to do here is I want to take, oh, I think this is what I want to do anyway. I don't know. This is an old curtain. Goodbye. And this is what I'm going to do. I want to put this is what I want to do. I want to put this on here, and my straight pins. How can I be one? Look here, this is one that I'm working on too. I don't finish them all up, at one time before I start another one, but eventually I'll have them all put together, and I'm looking for my straight pins, and they grew legs and walked away. And I have so many things going on at one time. That's probably not good, but it's okay. Here's some straight pins. Okay, now. And so I'm going to pin this lace on top of all that fabric that I just, all them scraps. And as you can see with what I'm doing, that I'm lost. I never have a real plan. I just come up with whatever I come up with. And so you just get a couple of these pins in here to hold some of these fabrics. And okay, so then what I'm going to do is, that's holding them fabrics down pretty good, so I'm going to get my ruler here and my rotary cutter. I'm going to cut just around that piece of lace that I have on there. Just an old lace curtain. Really kind of covers up every bit of that, what I just put up there, but not completely. And so, and understand I'm really not myself these days. I'm trying to be myself these days, but it's kind of hard. But I don't want to go into as most of you already know that watch my videos, know that I just lost a daughter. It's been only about, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks. I quit trying to keep track. And my daughter passed away due to depression. And so she was such a big part of my life. And so I am trying very hard to just keep moving on forward. Keep moving forward. And it's rough. I don't know. I don't want to keep, I don't want to just keep talking about it, but sometimes just talking about it is healing. But I want to stay busy. I want to keep on doing what I do, and hopefully doing what I do. I keep moving this camera around. Okay, I'm just going to do like this way. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to use what I call the serpentine stitch. I've got my walking foot on here. That seems to work better for me when I'm, see that quickly I lost my, there it is, my pin cushion. I'm going to use a serpentine stitch. That's 25. And I'm going to thought maybe I had that lace upside down, but I don't think there's an up and a right and a wrong. And so, but I do know I want to keep busy. I want to keep going forward. I want to keep doing what I do. And I started another channel in honor of my daughter. And so I try, and it's mostly just a talk therapy kind of thing, but where I talk a lot about grief and depression. Oh, look at there, my thread. My thread just showed me that it's got a problem. So now I'm going to have to fix that, rethread my machine, and that'll just take me a minute. But I think I've got it fixed already. I think it's fixed. Yeah, see what it did on the back there? It kind of made all that clump there. You know what? I'm going to leave it there. It's just going to have to stay there. It's just going to have to be what it is. But yes, my days are confusing. I'm learning though a lot about the stages of grief and such as that. And so I'm trying real hard to stay out of the depressive mode. And I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Some days are better than others. Some days are like 100% better than others. And then other days I just want to go climb in a hole. But there's no hole big enough to hold me, so I'll just keep on stitching. Just keep on stitching. That's what I'm going to do. Keep on stitching. I have found that I have a lot of people that are willing to listen to me complain or gripe or cry or whatever I feel like doing that day. But I take care of myself too. I gotta make sure I don't go into the overeating mode. funny. You don't want that to happen. What I think I want to do on this one is to just spiral. It's not a round spiral. It's let me cut these little threads right here off where we had our little snafu. But what I want to do with these, so I want to make up little kits. I want to have the book that will have pages to hold your needles and things that you need for your slow stitching. And then I'm going to have a collection of scraps. In the kit, I'm going to have a piece of felt that will be a little bit bigger than what this is. A piece of white felt, I think. It's all going to be white. That you will have to start your slow stitching project on. And then it's going to be, in the kit will be like some pieces of embroidery floss. A lot of people like embroidery floss for their slow stitching. And in the kit there's going to be a little pair of scissors that are just big enough for cutting your threads. And there'll be some threaded needles already in the kit, and just some fun things. There'll be buttons in there, just laces, trims, and fabric scraps for you to just work on. Everything pretty much that you'll need to do a slow stitching project. And so I'll have them hopefully within a week. I'm going to have them listed somehow or somewhere. Probably I'll just do a video when they're available so I can show them. And maybe if I have like 6 of them ready to go, I'll just number them 1 through 6 and show what they are. And if you're interested, you can let me know. I was doing the one thing a day sale. I was going to try that with just some of my extra things I have around, but that didn't work. I did it 2 times, and both times somebody said they wanted the item, but neither one of them ever followed through with paying. So I thought, well, this isn't going to work. And so I'll just try this right here because we're not like poor or anything. We're not destitute here at all. But I think everybody knows that. Everybody who lives on Social Security knows that it's kind of needful to earn a little extra, and that's just what I'm trying to do. And if I don't sell these things, I can also always give them. Actually, one of the kits will be given to one of the kits will be given to one of the Scrappy Pals. Probably the first kit I get completed will be actually for the Scrappy Pal winner. And it won't be long before I have a few of them. It feels like it jingled up underneath there. That's okay. Once I stitch it down, it's just going to have to be where it is. And so I'm just kind of spiraling this serpentine stitch. I guess it'd help if I wore my glasses. 20 minutes I've been here doing very little. Okay, so now that's stitched on there. It's together. So you can see how it's just mostly the lace, but you can still see the color underneath from the pieces. There's that one bad piece right there, but we're not going to let that worry us. I might put something, usually when I come up with something like that, rather than, I'll just put something decorative over it. Now, if this is the cover now, then I have so many different laces and things, and very pretty things. And this right here, this is pretty. It's just one little piece of lace. I try not to overthink this stuff either. This is what I put around that last one I made. I used some of this, and that's pretty. But now, like I was saying, that maybe this would be a tie. It could be a tie. Oh, I have to pull them threads off of there. This is really longer than... Oh, I'm such a slob. I just pull them threads and throw them on the floor. I shouldn't do that. But I do. So now if I were to use this as a tie, it would only need to be like this long. Doesn't have to be real long, just enough to tie it shut. And so, is that too wide? Maybe I would want to... What if I only make it, if I fold it in half, and if I fold it in half, now let's see, if I fold it right there in half, and I like that. Yeah, I think I will do that. Is that, let's check and see if those are even. Yeah, that's even. So now if I take this, and now if I just stitch, I'm going to stitch along the not the fold, but I'm going to stitch along the raw edge. And let me see, maybe I should do I'm going to put this, what I call a chicken scratch. I'm going to, yeah, I'm just going to go all the way along that edge. Just to stitch that right down the middle. right down the middle. Okay, then, see, I just use no thought. And I use my thread that I use, I always like to use that multicolored thread. And I just, and it, because it goes with everything. Now, if I take this piece of lace, and then if I just start now stitching that piece of lace, and if I take that lace and just go all the way around, oh, that's pretty. Using that stitch to hold that lace down, I think that's pretty. You never know how something's going to work till you work it. So each one of my covers will be different because it's whatever I feel like doing at the moment. And you just never know. You just never know. And like I say, I don't really put a whole lot of thought into anything either. I'm not a planner. And I'm not a one that uses a pattern for much of anything. And I love slow stitching and just stitching scraps together in any way and coming up with something new. I seen a picture on Facebook yesterday of somebody had made a bunch of little dolls out of clothespins, out of the clothes pegs, you know, not the springy ones, but the other ones. And I thought, well, I want to do that. And those are so cute. I think I'd like to do that. And I've got so much scrap fabric to make their little clothes. And so I might start on that today too. Now this will, my lines of stitching is never straight either. They're all crooked. I'm a crooked sewer. I had a time in my life when everything had to be perfect, you know. I'd use a pattern and I'd get discouraged if something wasn't just all straight and perfect. But I've been there, done that, and got over it. Now I'm at the age that I love leftovers. We just love leftovers. So we got all that leftover fabric. We use the old patterns in paper crafting. And it all works out. Now this will be really nice if I don't run out of bobbin thread. And that's okay, I've got more bobbins. We're ready to go. And so I have, I have so many options of what to do. You know, I never really used the walking foot much before, and then I'd have many problems where all my layers of fabric would just kind of get all clumpy and weird. And finally I said, well, I've got a walking foot. Let me try it and see what it does. It does make a little bit of extra noise, but that's okay. I don't mind noise. I need noise in my life. Look how that's looking. I'm thinking that looks good. And so just got a few more inches to go here. Whoops. Press your foot down, Elizabeth Marie. Things don't work if you don't work it. And there we go. Now I've got the strap, the tie on there, and I've got the, look at the scissor just stuck to the magnet. And okay, so now there, that can be the whole entire cover right there. Now I folded the although I folded it in half here, the reason I did that was because, well, for one thing, it looked better narrow. But then I can, then this piece here can be used to store the little clips, which there'll be clips in the kits too. Well, maybe about 10 or so. Let's see, now then that will be, and this can tie, see, so this is still, it's raw edge fabric. And then some I might put a ribbon, some I put lace, but you can put a pretty little bow there that will shut. And so, but then in here there'll be 4 pages. Well, I use 2 pieces of felt and I put them in there separately, like they're folded in half, and so there's actually be 4 pages, but I don't put them together and sew them. I sew one and then I sew the other one so that there's a little bit of a gap between them. That's how I'm making my my little covers. So this one here, I don't know which one's the front or which is the back. This one I did a little bit differently, and they're all coming out a little bit differently. This one here, I put a little applique, a little dress form on it, and oh, this one I added a piece of fabric inside. But see how each one of the pages will be stitched on independently, so they're a signature of their own. So each one, none of these are completely finished yet. And this one has this one I haven't put an edging on it. I've already got the pages in there though. I haven't put an edging on it. Maybe this one will not get an edging. No, this one I didn't put an edging either. And so they're all going to be different. None of them are going to be exactly the same. And so, but that's what I'm working on. So I just want to let you know what I'm doing. I'm not just sleeping my day away. I'm doing okay, if you ask me. If you ask me, I think I'm doing just fine. And so, and knowing that I have y'all to talk to, well, there you go. Let me see if I have something to read this morning. Let me see, where's that little book? I got this was in the mail. They were advertising for my hubby. He got it in the mail. He goes, I should order this for you. I said, no, don't order that for me. I'll just cut the picture out. It says Elizabeth and Richard right there, and it's a heart. But anyway, yeah, I'll just cut that out. And what was I doing? Oh, I was looking for, oh, this is it. 1 minute inspirations for women. Let's be inspired by this one right here. Parents, in-laws, and you. Today I want to go beyond the God calls you to love admonition and have a heart-to-heart with you about your parents and in-laws. Jim and I decided long ago that our parents were high priorities. We proposed to do everything we could for them. While they were younger, this didn't involve much. We visited regularly and kept in touch. As they got older, their challenges were greater, and we had many chances to serve. When Jim's mother's health failed, we willingly spent our time and resources to help her. When she died, we had no regrets because we'd been there for her. The same applies to my father. And again, as we, along with our siblings, watched out for my mother, caring for our parents takes time, yes, and it takes money and effort, but it's well worth it and pleases God. Father, it's such a privilege to serve you, and I'm glad you've given me my parents and in laws to love. Help me be patient, kind, and generous with my time and resources. Amen. And so that's really nice. And now me and Richard are we're kind of in our, we're the olden stage. And so, but my son and his wife and children moved in with us, and they moved in with us to care for us, and that for us is such a blessing. Oh my gosh, it's such a blessing. And so, well, that's my reading for today. This is my sewing for right now, and I'm glad I had a few minutes of your time. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless and keep you all. May He watch over you every step you take, every move you make, keep you healthy, happy, humble, and safe and secure. God bless.